Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Russ the Oliver Man, and today we are not working on an Oliver. However, the technique used can be used to fix your Oliver, so I will show you what we are going to do in just a moment. So over here we have about a 1987 F350 Ford with a 460 gas motor that a melon farm dropped off and said put a clutch and a ring gear in it. So after looking at it, it was and taking it apart, the clutch isn't really that bad. The problem is in the hydraulic part of the clutch. It uses a hydraulic clutch with a master cylinder and then a slave cylinder to push the arm. So it takes a lot of the effort out of driving it compared to the old vehicles that used a rod to connect the clutch, but it's also, it can be kind of a headache on these if you don't get all the air out, and or if they start leaking like this one did. So I've got that, but then when I took out his starter, it came out in chunks. There was pieces all over. I mean, it had self-destructed, and as a result, his ring gear is just absolutely chewed up in a lot of places. There's several places where if you look at it head on, you can see that it's flat. You probably can't see that on the GoPro because the GoPro kind of contorts reality a little bit. And there's, like here, there's chunks missing out of these teeth. A lot of times you can just take this off and flip it over and put it back on. But in this case, the new part was like 40 bucks or less. So we're gonna go ahead and try to put a new one on. The first time I ordered it, it came in wrong, boxed wrong. This is supposed to be like 14.5 inches inner diameter, and the other one was small enough that it fit inside this one. So I think we've got what we need now, and we'll explain how this is gonna go. Now normally I'd probably do this on a workbench, but the 1650 bucket has all the stuff I need to be able to stick the camera to, so I've got two hands, and I got my hay spear that I can hang the new ring gear on when I heat it, because what you're going to have to do is, this is a tight fit, and so I just usually drive the old one off with a punch, and then to put the new one on, you have to heat it up gently, evenly around, not too much in one spot, and it will actually expand enough that you can tap it on here, and then as it cools, it'll tighten up and it'll be good to go again. So I've got it up on blocks, and I'm going to try to go back and forth and knock this off of there. We'll see how that goes. And then once we get the new one on, we can clean this up and start putting the truck back together. So we'll see how well this works. It's coming off. Probably would have been nice if I would have put my bucket level. I might do that. There we go. I think that's more better. And like I said, if you're going to reuse your old one, you probably want to be more gentle than I'm being with this one. There we go. All right, so here's our old chewed up ring gear. There's a place where it's really flat. There's some chewing. A guy could probably get by with turning this around and putting it back on. You could even make sure you didn't put this in the same spot this way on the flywheel, because in theory the flywheel stops in about the same place, you know, most of the time. So that's why you've got certain spots that are really chewed up and others look like new. So anyway, that's out. We'll go get the new, go down to the torch, and we will take this new one. We probably should compare it to the old one first, just to make sure. but it appears to be exactly alike, although the new one stands proud because the old one's wore down. So yeah, I think you'll have something with this new one. So we'll go down, we'll take this and we will heat, just go around and around and around and around until it expands it just enough that it's easy to tap it on there, so we're not driving on it and, you know, warping this around or whatever. It works easier. So we'll go do that. Okay, so this was my plan, that it's hanging here and then I can take the punch and carry it over there and then tap it on there. So I'll get that flywheel up on the blocks again and ready. I guess I could really just lay it down flat. Don't need the blocks. But we'll go around and around and around and just expand this just enough that it'll drop on there fairly easily. Should have had this scooted back on the more flat part. I think I'll move you over to the flywheel so you're ready to watch. I'll just carry it over there in a second. Uh-oh, get out of the way, old one. Come on. Get on there. Get on there. There we go. Solid there. There we go. There we go. I believe that's on there. Remember, it is burning hot, but we are all the way down, so we will let that cool naturally and it will tighten up on there. So that's all there is to it. If you've got a flywheel that does not engage the starter anymore, really, it's not that difficult of a process. You just need to be patient and have all your stuff ready to go so you can do it fairly easily. I was worried about the camera too, and that kind of makes it more difficult, but it went on there. And you don't want to wail on the new one with a metal punch, you know. I used a brass punch to drive it down because that in theory will not hurt this harder metal. So, but if you heat it, there's a fine line between enough and too much. I mean, if you get too much in one spot, it's going to get weak and then it'll self-destruct in there, and you don't want that. So you want to kind of be sparing with it, you know, slow, gentle heat to get it up there. You know, don't crank your torch wide open and get it glowing red in one spot, because that's not going to work. So anyway, this one should be back in business. It's a good one. It's made in Mexico, and so was the new ring gear. So you know that is going to be exactly what everybody wants. So good deal. Well, as always, if you enjoy the videos, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. That helps the channel out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.